Yeah, what if it was just like a...
I ain't no altar boy. I ain't no yes man. No, no. You ain't no God of mine. No, I don't need your blessings to save me. When you thought that I was done, you ain't seen nothing yet. Walk that wire, start that fire, burn it down, yeah. You ain't seen nothing yet. I go harder, let the sun burn, feel me now. You ain't seen nothing yet. I got this storm in my head, a forest fire in my chest. Look at the time on the clock, man, I'm gonna sleep when I'm dead. Whether you're ready or not, I'm rolling in like a train off the tracks, coming at you. You ain't seen nothing yet. Walk that wire, start that fire, burn it down, yeah. You ain't seen nothing yet. I go harder, let the sun burn, feel me now. You ain't seen nothing yet. My heart, my soul, my fight, my appetite won't stop, won't quit. I come back every time. My heart, my soul, my fight, my appetite won't stop, won't quit. I come back every time. My heart, my soul, my fight, my appetite won't stop, won't quit. I come back every time. You ain't seen nothing yet. Walk that wire, start that fire, burn it down. Oh yeah, you ain't seen nothing yet. I go harder, let the sun burn. Feel me now. You ain't seen nothing yet. You ain't seen nothing yet.
Happy Friday, September 30th, 2022. It's Chris and Mark with the NWA Exchange Podcast, the only podcast you need to watch to know everything about Bella Vista and beyond. We hope you had a great week. It's cooling off out there, but it's also heating up in other places. Let's get into this. What's going on, buddy?
Hey, what's going on, brother?
Man, it's this week kind of flew by. For the most part, man. I mean, like, let's see, did a soccer practice this week, but then we did that city council thing on Monday, right? That was a good time. We'll break that down a little bit later, though. It just, I don't know, man. This week just kind of flew by, it really did, for me anyway.
Yeah, definitely agree with you, man. There's just never enough time in the day, man. You're always chasing your tail. So It's always nice to wrap up the week and be on with you, man.
Yeah. Well, it's the official kickoff to the freaking weekend, man. So, that being said, tell me what we got going on in the near future. I do have one thing that you didn't catch, and it was the Wiener Take All. The Wiener Dog races, man. They're going to be happening out there on Glasgow Road.
Yeah.
At the softball field. And if you haven't ever been out there to watch some little Wiener Dogs race, it's a good time. The Wiener Takes All. I believe it's Corgi and Dachshunds or Dachshunds.
Dachshund, yeah.
However you pronounce it. If you have one of them, go and save the queen, my Dachshund accents, then it's a Dachshund, right? But if you're from Arkansas, it's Dachshund. So.
Yeah. It's funny you said that because Quinn's going to be out there taking pictures. So
nice.
I totally forgot about it. Thanks for catching it, though.
No problem, man. It's a team effort.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's get it out of the gate, man. We got a lot to talk about tonight. So just local things going on and just some quick reminders. Hey, we have the 44th annual Holiday Bazaar.
That's bizarre.
Saturday.
The 44th?
44.
44. Bizarre.
October 1st, man, from 9 to 2. It's at the First United Methodist Church, 20 Boyce Drive in Bella Vista. So,
okay.
It'll be a good time, man. Make sure you pre-order those oranges.
That's tomorrow, man, right?
That's it is,
tomorrow.
Man.
Wow.
Yep.
Orange and cinnamon rolls at 9. Lunch served after 10. You got to pre-order them rolls, though, baby. Call 479-855-1158.
I won't make it through the bazaar, man. I'll be passed out if I eat all.
I don't know, man. Orange, like, what is an orange roll?
I think they have that orange drizzle on it, man.
Oh,
I think that's what it is. Then they put a little icing over the top of it. Yeah. I'm a cinnamon roll guy.
I'm a cinnamon roll guy, if anything, man.
Yeah, definitely. It's great with coffee, man. That's for sure. So,
well, get out there and support the bazaar, y'all. And don't make it weird.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, just a reminder, we had last week, same thing. And the reason why I'm bringing this up, Reardon Hall is closed for renovations till next September. We said that. There's still people going out trying to get in the building. There's a lot of confusion. Tennis courts, pickleball court, other activities outside the building are still open. Everything else inside is closed. Fitness facilities, any of those rooms that you want to use, weights, whatever, pool, racquetball court downstairs or in the basement, the whole deal. So
stay away from Reardon. You cannot go in, people, okay? I know you can go and show up and gripe about it all you want, but it's probably just going to make you mad, raise your blood pressure. Find an alternate location to go.
So I've been seeing an uptick over in Metfield, so there are people coming over. So that's a good thing.
Turning off the Weather Channel and stuff? Yeah.
They're gonna be doing that for a full year, man. So I gotta fight for the channel now.
Now you gotta fight for the Weather Channel, man. It does not happening here, Mark. Okay, you don't need to watch that crap. It's not in your backyard. I don't know. Maybe I got friends and family that live down there, lady.
Yeah, really.
Don't make me hit your life alert pendant. All right.
So the last few weeks, the market has been in free fall, man. Today, another 500-point drop in the Dow. It's getting crazy out there. It's really starting to tighten up. And I like to bring these budget busters in, man, for the people, for the masses, because we're all going to be eating probably cardboard before this is all said and done, man. It's going to get
synthetic meats. Smeats. That's what we'll be eating. Smeats.
So, your favorite, my favorite, Box 10 Budget Busters, man.
Box 10! It's wacky Box 10 Budget Buster Day right here, buddy, on the NWA Exchange. I mean, we got it all going on right here,
right? Starting from September 28th and running from October 4th. If nobody's been down there, you got to check it out. 103 North Dixieland Road down in Rogers. Look at this week, man. Bone-in pork sirloin roast, man. $1.10 a pound, man. Just put that in your crock pot, smoke it, make carnitas. There's a ton of stuff out there. Bottom round roast, $2.85 a pound, man. It's getting cooler out. Get the potatoes, get the carrots, get the onions, Get that roast, put it in the
Yeah.
crock pot, and just sit back and hang out, man. So, and baby back ribs. This is crazy, dude. $1.99 a pound, man.
Wow. Well, yeah. Jack-o'-lantern pumpkins too, man. They got a little bit of everything. Look at that. I like that bacon, man. That bacon looks like pretty good cut bacon right there.
Oh
$10
yeah,
each.
yeah. Baby backs at $1.99 a pound. You got to put that in the freezer. If you look around in this area here, you're probably looking anywhere from $4.29 to $4.69 a pound right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely worthwhile to make a trip out there. So stock that freezer, man. It's gonna get tight. It's gonna get tight. So I
got a question, man. Where are the nuggets on a catfish?
don't know. That's a good question.
You know, catfish nuggets. If you know where the nuggets are, call into our phone line later and let me know where the nuggets are on a catfish.
Probably just cut up in pieces.
It's cut up, man. It's a joke. Yeah. It's a joke.
Yeah.
Where's the nuggets?
So we got the Merrill Forum coming up. We've been talking about this last few weeks. Monday, October 3rd at 6 p.m., Lake Point Restaurant.
You have to have tickets. If you don't have tickets, then you probably missed the bus on that one. Myself and Mark will be out there. We are going to attempt to live stream it, but at best record it. We need to make it out there like on Sunday and do a prelim dry run test to verify signal and all that.
Yeah, definitely.
We should be all right. I would think that we'll be okay, but we'll do our dry run on Sunday and be prepped to roll out on Monday evening to get set up.
Yeah. So my understanding is they'll have our passes there at the door, so we'll be able to get in and, we'll go from there. So
awesome. I'm looking forward to that, man.
Yeah. It should be a good time. You're going to have a nice little forum. I don't know what kind of debate it'll be, but was kind of hoping we'd be involved with that process, but that's okay. We'll monitor it closely.
We will, and we will take notes, and we will break it down afterwards, like we always do in our own fashion.
Right.
We don't let things slide, man. If it's straight up, cool, man. But if it's shiesty, and that goes to tracking how many minutes a speaker gets to talk versus another one, how many lead off of questions happen, right? Because that's the way it's supposed to be done, is nobody gets the lead on every question, right?
Right.
Why? Because it allows the other person to formulate an answer based off of somebody else's answer.
This is, by the way, whoever came up with this idea it was a great idea, Chris.
I believe it was us, and we talked around it. I don't know. It was several podcasts back where we had discussed, getting a room at the Embassy Suites and doing an actual forum and debate style and live stream. I don't know, man. We just will this stuff into existence, though, brother. I mean, I don't know. You speak it, you will it into existence, and it happens. I don't know.
Yeah. So Randy Murray, John Flynn, and Steve Bork will all be out there. So I look forward to listening to what they have to say, and I can't wait, man. So
they're gonna have popcorn, man. This might get pretty.
Oh
good.
yeah,
I need some
There'll
popcorn.
be popcorn, buddy. There'll be some popcorn there. Yeah. So just another reminder for everybody after this the City Council work session. It's right around the corner again, man. October 15th, 5:30 p.m. 612 West Lancashire Boulevard. Then the following week is the regular City Council regular meeting, which will have that conversation on the short-term rentals. So that'll take place at
again.
I mean, when are we going to get a final copy? I mean, it's been worked on for forever.
Well, I would like to see the work session actually work towards they need to take the existing resolutions. And they need to align those and say what works, what doesn't work. That's what should happen during the work session. They do have the option to call a special session. That's where one or more council members want to sit down and discuss business. They have to notify the media, but they can sit down and talk. I did verify that through one of the councilmen. You can actually work with other councilmen. All it requires is that you notify the media. I think it's 3 days, 2 days. And you can sit down and have a special work session, right? So they have that option on the table. I would think that if this is as important and an emergent issue as some city council members paint it out to be, that it would be important enough to actually work with your counterparts and maybe, possibly, I don't know. I'm just throwing this one out there, Mark. Get your stuff together and actually work on it before you introduce it at the work session, right? And definitely before you introduce it at a city council meeting. Just saying there, buddy. If it's that important.
Yeah, for sure. So don't forget, folks, the Testicle Festival. This is what map right here.
Testy Fest US, man. The Testicle Festival, October 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. 2022, Bentonville, Arkansas. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. You get 1, 2, 3 days of Testicle Festival fun. That's right. They're going to have 14 bands. Lots of bands going on. They're going to have camping, sound checks, get in the truck, the tumbleweeds, Undie 500, Eureka Strings, Bonfire, the Dirty Strings, Ladies, Oil Wrestling, Them Dirty Roses, Campfire, and Fire Time. Get them s'mores ready. Hey, you want to throw some campfire roasted testes on your s'mores? Be my guest. It's the Testy Fest, man. They're going to have a motorcycle show. They're having a ball throwing contest. And they got, I don't know, the cattle punchers. I don't know if that's actually what that is. But the Undie 500 is racing tricycles in your underwear, ladies oil wrestling, ball eating contest. How many testes can you eat in 10 minutes? The winner gets $500. If you're going to slam them freaking nuggets of deep fried golden, go ahead. Register. And at 2 p.m. on Saturday, you have the opportunity to win $500 just for slamming down some testes, man. Wet T-shirt contest. They have a beard competition out there. Ooh, might have to let some of the beardos know. And they have a ball throwing contest. You can also win $500 if you can throw our balls the furthest. Sounds like a fun time. Something worth checking out. If you've never, ever tried bull balls, mountain grown oysters, whatever you want to call them, might be worth getting out there and just trying a little sample. I'm sure it's going to smell great out there. Anything deep fried is good, man.
All right, man.
I'm sorry, I went in a little rant right there. Testyfest.us. Check it out.
So for people that are new to the area, what do we do for trick-or-treating? It's called
trunk or treat. We don't really do a lot of door-to-door-ish stuff because we don't have sidewalks. Two, we got a bunch of grumpy old people that don't want to pass out candy to little starving children that need a sugar high. And most of the churches found it's a more safer alternative to do it at their church, and they have designated times, and they dress up. People decorate cars. I know at our church they do a big one. They decorate the cars. You can parade through. They have a photo booth, and it's a good time. They give out a lot of candy, and it's just a really fun, family-friendly method of trick-or-treating in Bella Vista.
Yeah, so that'll take place October 31st from 5 to 6:30 p.m. First United Methodist Church, again, 20 Boyce Drive in Bella Vista. So I just had I had a flashback of me dragging my kids around and when they were small doing trick or treating, and they had the plastic bags and I filled them up. They're like, "Dad, my feet are hurting." We're not our houses to go. We got to keep on pushing through. It's cold. Keep on moving. Come on, we got to get it.
So, like with the churches doing it, like we'll before Halloween, we'll compile a full list. Like I said, I know there's several churches that do it, and then they have the Bella Vista Library also does something. The fall festival. So there's lots of opportunities, and if you time it right and you get an early start, I think we hit 3 or 4 churches last year. Okay. And that was more than enough for the kid. It was more than enough for us. And I think we were done by 7:30. So
good deal. All right, we'll do that. We'll stay on top of that. So it's a big deal for kids, man. It's a great time of the year for them. So, all right, buddy, that's it. What's going on local right now? We can go into a break, or we'll
cut to a quick break, and then we'll come back with an interview of City Council candidate Julie Yandell, Ward 3, Position 2. So bear with us during a quick break, and then we'll cut over to the interview. Thanks, y'all.
What's your name? Where you from? The French have invaded.
Portugal.
Portugal, yes.
AOC, Austin, Texas.
Keep it weird. Yeah, Where you from? Where you from? Yeah.
Lying here, so hear me out. So let's run, run, run. Pull me in and take me out. Let's run, run, run around. Hot city haze, cool summer skies. Let's get away and take a drive. Together as we go. No other way I know. Together as we go. No better way to know. Together as we go. Together as we go. Get on in and let's go out. So let's run, run, run. Where we've been don't matter now. Let's run, run, run around. Hot city haze, cool summer skies. Let's get away and take a drive. Together as we go. No other way I know. Together as we go. Better way to know. Together as we go. Together as we go. Together as we go. Together as we go. No other way I know. Together as we go. No better way to know.
So, Mark, we got another city council candidate, Ward 3, position 2, on this week, Julie Yandell. And, we were told that this might be a person of interest to interview because we've done pretty much all of Ward 1 and candidates for Ward 2, and now we're moving on to Ward 3.
Right.
So, without further ado, we'll go ahead and bring on Julie.
All right.
Hi,
Good
Julie.
evening.
How are you?
Good. Thanks
So-
for having me.
Yeah, our pleasure.
Well, I appreciate your time.
We like talking to people that are courageous enough to throw their name in the hat, and I say courageous or crazy enough, but it's always nice to see people in the communities that are willing to step up and get involved with local politics and actually trying to better the community.
Yeah.
So that being said, what can you tell us a little bit about yourself and how long have you lived in Bella Vista and what prompted you to get involved in local city government?
Well, I've been here for 17 years now, almost 18. My family goes way back, actually, on my dad's side through here. But I decided to do something to step up because kind of got tired of hearing complaining. I'm not one for a complainer. I'm usually a doer. I'm not afraid of hard work when I know it's going to make it better. So, yeah. And so
Awesome.
I decided to step up, and it's my first time ever doing this, but I'm a fast learner. And I've already been attending the meetings for the last few months. Monday nights, stayed the 3 hours there while they were all, sharing their concerns. so that I
Okay.
could just step right in and be up to speed.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So,
Hey, Julie.
go ahead, Mark. Go ahead.
Hey, just a quick a backstory. Julie, what did you do prior to this? I mean, your background, it was kind of interesting to me. You're talking about you had your own business, and can you dig into that a little bit and tell us a little bit about what you did?
Yeah. Prior I did real estate, but then when I was younger, and then I went into a franchise called Little Caesars Pizza. And I opened 6 of them in 2 states, Arkansas and Missouri. I've had those for the last 18 years. That's what moved me out here in this area to open the business. So I would find the locations, I would build them up, and I'd open them up. Each year I was doing one, opening a new one and building a team and growing. It's been very good to me. I've been very blessed. And then I sold 5 of them just during the pandemic year. I had one up for sale. My mom started having colon cancer, so I was helping take care of her. I sold the 5 up in Missouri, but I kept the one in Bentonville. So it's given me more time. It's very easy to do one, but I feel that I have the time and the capability, to give to my community.
Okay, so you were responsible for the day-to-day, the profit and loss statements, the hiring, everything that goes along with that, right?
Everything. I wore all the hats. Everything.
Okay, so you got a pretty extensive background then.
Yes, I do. I feel it's. I know what bottom lines are and what it really takes to make the numbers. Yeah.
That's great, because Chris and I need some help looking at some of them P&Ls that we're looking at for the city. We're trying to figure it out, but
yeah, I usually can see it pretty well. So
Awesome.
yeah.
Well, that's good. That on top of it, you've got really good experience with like being able to track the budgeting and how much money's going out and how much is available for future projects, etc.
Yeah, no, I'm very good at seeing the big picture. Just like even coming out here and doing 2 states and opening businesses, and I am a leader. I have no problem stepping in. I'm not afraid of hard work. Like I said, it's I enjoy doing that. So yeah. Yep.
We'll move on to our question section of this interview. And the first one that I have for you is, what will you do to improve transparency and communication between the residents and our local government?
To have it more transparent. Well, I know they do have like I said, this is my first time through, so I don't know everything that's about this yet. But from what I see, they are releasing the budget out. So we can look at that, like you said. I think there needs to be more collaboration between the departments in the city to really have a true 5, 10, 20-year plan. I think we need to work in together and make sure we're all on the same page. Like I said, this is my first time through, so I'm learning it as I go.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I have a question for you, Julie. I love asking this question because I get different answers. And so if you received a $1 million grant from the city, for the city, what would you use it for?
At this point,
you can do anything you want with that $1 million. What would you do with it for the city?
The grant.
Yep.
Well,
and why?
Well, I would try to find a way where it can make money. So where it can produce money and not just give it away, to help it go farther. And that sometimes you need to, even though it was this would be a federal grant, I'm assuming. So
we can make it a federal grant if you want. Okay. Or no strings attached. You don't have to pay back.
Gifted us this month. Yeah, because sometimes there are strings attached and certain things you have to do in order to acquire the whole grant. We have a great tourism, the bike trails, the hiking, the golf, everything. There's, what's not to love in Bella Vista. We really do have some good stuff. I do think we need to look a little more into the businesses. I think that we need some more some more of that. So I would probably direct it towards the businesses.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So a small business, you give them
Yeah.
loans, small business
Yes.
loans of the city
That's what I think would help create our jobs, create the tax base. Because whether we like it or not, we're a city now, and we're on the map, and we're growing. And
Okay.
so that's going to, do a lot of stuff over this next 20 years. Yeah. We might even grow faster than what we're planning. Yeah.
That's true.
So, yeah.
Where are your favorite places to hang out in Bella Vista? What activities do you enjoy the most? And where do you like to spend time, enjoying the great city that we live in?
Well, there's a lot here. I love the Cooper Chapel. I love going hiking. I love kayaking. I love my screen porch. That's just one of my favorites to read on and just have the woods around me. I love this area so much. It's so beautiful. Yeah, that's I think my porch is my favorite place on the earth. It's my little heaven. I love having breakfast out there. Love having dinner. I love it. Yeah.
What lake do you like going on for your kayak? I mean, which one do you enjoy the most?
I enjoy Loch Lomond. So
okay.
I'm out there mostly. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. So the next question, what do you feel should be the priority of the city of Bella Vista? Development of attractions, tourism, growth, or preservation of the community we live in?
Well,
where should the focus be?
I think we have to have a balance on that. That's why I think we need to be working together all across the board for collaboration with the connective on that, because we need to have a balance of all of that. That's really important to look at the whole big picture, because we're going to need businesses, but then we also, I know that Cooper originally had that balanced out where their zoning was going to be, so much open space, so much of this. So we need to definitely look at that and see where they're at on that and what they're trying to change. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they kind of went a little cart before the horse with, I'm not saying anything negative about the bike trail system, but we have enough bike trails and we have enough people coming here to ride them. We don't really have many opportunities for these people to dine and
exactly
and stay. So the VRBOs are filling that void, right? But commercial,
we have no hotels to accommodate them. So right now we have that. We have to. Yeah.
I like that collaboration and kind of bringing a balance to it.
Yeah. And otherwise our tax dollars run away. All the businesses just go on into Bentonville. They're going to be eating there and staying there, even though they bike here and use our amenities, but they're not going to pay us.
Right.
So, yeah, that's important.
That kind of ties into the next question, and it's one of the effects of the wonderful bike trail system that we have in Bella Vista is a growing number of homes being converted to short-term rentals. What are your views, both pro and con, and how would you manage the growth and effects on the adjacent and nearby homeowners?
Okay. Like I said, I've been attending the last couple of months and listening. It's my job to listen to all the concerns. And I've been listening closely, like just Monday night, 3 hours there listening. And each side has valid concerns. There's no doubt about it. I think they were smart, the 5 councilmen who decided to table it, because they do have a lot more work to do on that in order to make it sensible and a good fit for Bella Vista. To just jam it through would have done more harm for Bella Vista. So I am very proud of them for taking the time to go to work on that more, because it definitely needs more work. What I see is what I heard and was sensing that there was real concern that brought this to the table was that there's stranger danger. It seems to be the most, because we do already have ordinances for noise and parking. Mm-hmm. You only have to make that call to the police to enforce that. And I don't know why they're not doing that. So you can call the police will run out. they will cite them or they will warn them, and it's problem solved. No, they can't park in the street. They can't make that noise. So what I was sensing that the biggest issue possibly is the stranger danger, which, I was really thinking about this for the last couple of months. And I was like, no matter where you go in the world, you have that stranger danger. That's going to be everywhere. It could be with your neighbors right now. It could be with long-term renters. It's not just STRs. That's not, that's just out there. That's everywhere in the world.
Right. And it's no different if somebody lists their house and you have no control over who purchases that house and moves in.
Exactly. And I live right next to one of the renters. And for the last 10 years, it's been an STR. And I have never heard one complaint or no noise. And on my street porch, I'm out there all the time. And I've seen them out there enjoy it, the families, and I've never seen a problem. I've heard more dog barking 2 doors the other way with a permanent neighbor who I love, and I love dogs. But I mean, I was just comparing for them. I hear more noise that way than I've ever heard with that STR. Now, I might be one of the lucky ones. My daughter has one across the street from her. She said she's never heard anything except one time with the biker blues and barbecue. Some motorcyclers stayed up a little bit later till midnight playing cornhole. But she said that was only one time in all the years we've been here. So I understand one or two could ruin it, but I have neighbors that do that even. That stay up when they have friends come up and celebrate. Right. That's just the way it is. Right. We usually let each other know. We're like, hey, sorry, or can we use your parking? Because, we're going to have family reunion. And we're very nice to each other. But I don't think, I really, truly think that, I understand it, the stranger danger, but I don't think I think you could be even in a worse situation with a long-term renter, having someone out there cussing or a neighbor you didn't like. Yes. So, than 2 nights with somebody. So, yeah.
What are your thoughts on commercial real estate expansion in Bella Vista?
Well, there's real estate. We're definitely going to continue seeing the housing demands increase. So proper zoning will help us to watch out for our future in that area. We definitely need to connect, like I said again, and collaborate with the planning departments on that and see what zonings are going on and what they're planning over the next 25 years, how much they're going to let happen. And we need to look at that closely. So, but it's going to happen because with all the biking trails now too, and everybody keeps visiting and the tourism and they love it. It's, I had 12 new houses around me pop up this last year. They're building right now.
Okay. So, great. Yeah. Go ahead, Chris. I'm sorry, Chris. I had 7. I apologize. How do you plan to engage and involve the residents in the decision-making process of our city? It seems like to me, and Chris and I have had conversations about this all the time, people feel like they're not being heard. Me and you talked earlier, and hey, you get your 3 minutes and that's it. Party's over. Next. Right. You feel like you're taking an order at McDonald's or something like that. So I think people are frustrated, feel like their voice doesn't mean anything, and kind of remove themselves from the whole process. What can we do to engage those people and get them back?
Well, I definitely think that is just like me throwing my hat in the ring and doing the due diligence. That is up to each person. They need to email and spell it out in the letter, all their concerns, so they're not just cut off and they're getting emotional, or they're getting, that 3 minutes of race time, or their heart's beating and they lose track of what they need to say. They need to write it, rewrite it, spell it out, then email it over so that we can truly know what they are concerned about. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. And then, we're just going to go into a recap and allow you to, tell everybody why they should vote for you. How do they get in touch with you? Do you have a website, Facebook, phone, email? Why should people vote for you, and how can they talk to you more?
I think they should vote for me because I hope they will vote for me because I do champion simple philosophies with government. I don't think we should overreach at all. No, I think it should be free to grow and get money. I think we should keep it sensible, though. There's sometimes you do need some ordinances to have that right fit is important for all, a win-win. And I want to keep it safe and beautiful. So, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate your time, and good luck to you. I mean, like I said early on, it's just by running, you're doing more than most. You know, most are sitting around complaining. You're actually throwing your name in the hat and putting your name out there and running for this position. So best of luck to you. We hope to see we hope to see what I'm excited to see what the outcome is in November, because you know we've got basically every position that's open. At least 3 people are running for every position, minus the secretary, I believe. Right, the secretary is the only one.
Yeah, and I think that's the first time it's ever happened because most time it's just open.
Yeah, and so that tells me that there's enough people running because they see that there's probably a true need for change and kind of redirecting the way our local government. So we appreciate that, and thank you for your time.
Yeah.
Thank
Hey,
you.
Julie, one just quick thing, Julie.
Sure.
How do we get in touch? If I want to send you a list of questions, what's your email address?
My email is just my name, Julie Yandell at AOL.com.
And how about if they don't have email? They have to call you by phone.
They
Do you have?
are free to call me, and my number is 417-483-8241.
Awesome. Hey, we really appreciate you taking the time tonight, and thanks again.
Thank you.
It must be the way I walk. It must be the way I talk. You know I got something to say, and I can keep going for days. Yeah, call me up if you need a little sauce, baby. Follow me if you get a little lost. I'ma put the money in the tone on the road. You gotta pay the cost to be the boss. Boss up. Come on, boss up. Come on, boss up. Come on, boss up. Never been down on my luck. Boss up. Come on, boss up. Come on, boss up. Come on, boss up. Never been down on my luck. Nah, 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 nah. Nah, 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 nah. Nah, 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 nah. I got what it takes, got what it takes. I don't want a slice, want the whole cake. Make the money move, that's my forte. Then I'ma take off for the whole day. I'm just weighing all my options. Looking at my watch, hit me back when it's popping. I've been on top till my stock never dropping. And this is for the ones that been watching. Boss up. Come on, boss up. Come on, boss up. Come on, boss up. Never been down on my luck. Boss up. Come on, boss up. Come on, boss up. Come on, boss up. Never been down on my luck to the. Boss up. Come on, boss up. Go ahead. Yeah. Come on, boss up. Come on, boss up. Never been down on my luck. Boss up.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We're back. We're back. We're back. I'm coming back in hot, right? That was Nasty Rob from Nasty's Float Shop. If you're interested in trying out the one wheel sport, if you got family, grandchildren, kids, get down to the McKissick Creek Plaza or hit them up on their Facebook. You can rent a board and learn the sport. Try before you buy. It's always a great thing to do. It's growing. The community is growing, man. I think at Float Life Fest they had over 600 registered racers.
Wow.
Good
stuff.
Man. Good stuff, man. It's nice to be part of a community of up and coming sport that's growing and catching more momentum. Just like Amped Electric Games, same thing. Ran into Seth out there, and it's awesome to be part of this, man, and the community. So that being said, I really enjoyed our interview with Julie. I think Julie brings a different perspective to it. I think she has a lot of business experience, so she can directly relate to what small business owners may or may not need from the city. And the city can be a little bit more cognizant of how they can help and not hinder small businesses.
Right.
We need a business tax base here. We need to start thinking outside the box. And get off this three-legged stool mentality and start being a little creative and innovative as a city if we are ever going to break away from the three-tiered government system that we have here. Even though it's not government, right? They are governing bodies over this community. So I think the way that Julie is wanting to approach this with having the different department heads collaborate with the city council member, be creative, bring a balance to things. Those are all positives in my eyes.
Yeah, I agree with you. Made some great points. I think that's what drew me to her was her background. You got to make payroll, man. You got to hire and fire people. There's a lot of stress involved with running your own business,
Absolutely.
So, you got to manage every dollar and stretch it as far as you can. So I think this position would be good for her. She'd be able to bring a lot to the table in this. And I wish her nothing but the best, and I appreciate her taking the time to come on.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you very much, Julie. And we will get that interview posted to our Facebook. Quick reminder, service reminder right here. If you haven't liked, shared, subscribed, told a friend about the podcast, please do that. Help us beat the algorithm. Help us grow the show. All you got to do is click the like button on the YouTube. All you got to do is share out the Facebook post. Encourage people to come over and follow our page. That's it.
We would appreciate it.
And I think we still have some money up in the air for grabs if anybody will ever, help us break those numbers. But, Well,
we keep going that direction we're heading, buddy.
I might need to pull that back for the recession that's inbound, man, for reals. So next up on the agenda.
Yeah.
Brother, we went to that city council meeting on Monday.
How many hours did we log in there? Was it another 3 hours?
Another 3 hours. We were there for the work session, which was 3 hours. So now we're so that's 6 hours I've devoted of time to go and listen to pretty much one city council member run his yap, but one city council member explained his position. We'll just say that. I'm not going to say run your yap. That might have a negative connotation to it, but run your yap is more accurate representation of it. So if you didn't make it out to Monday, there were some highlights, man. There were some sad times. There were some funny times.
Yeah.
There were some crazy times. It was the worst of times. It was the best of times. It is what it is whenever you go to city council meeting. So, luckily, thankfully, the Bella Vista Community Television aired it, and they got the video out 12 hours ago, man. So I was like prepping for the podcast. I'm like, let me just check one more last time because I like the camera angles that they have. They put the camera in front of the podium, so you can really get you can get a read of the person that's talking. And so
Right.
that being said, we're going to cut over to the web share. Whoop. It, oh, there's our fearless leader right there. For a couple more months anyway. He's getting ready to call up this resident who's sharing some concerns. And it ties into the interview because we heard Julie talk about stranger danger when it comes to the short-term rentals. And so I believe that one of the concerns this was the only concern I heard of stranger danger. I did hear a gentleman talk after this lady regarding, I don't know the people that are coming in on my street. I used to know people that lived on my street, but now with the short-term rental thing, I really don't know who they are. So that being said, I'm going to roll this and then we'll cut to a different section. We'll pontificate on this section alone.
And people that weren't there, it's
Yes.
just good information to be had.
So this is one of the concerns of a resident of Bella Vista, and I'm just going to roll this beautiful bean footage, and I'm going to hit the mute button on my mic, man.
Hey there, number 17, Ira Lane. As I've listened to some of these emotional pleas, I just want to make sure that you guys understand that all of us save for our kids' college too. And we did it in a lot of different ways. I know one thing for sure, these short-term rentals today put my kids in danger. I didn't save for my kids' college by putting anybody else's kids in danger. That causes a risk to our physical property as well as our kids. You know, I've got teenagers on my street who cannot walk their dog because of the stranger danger in the house at the end of the cul-de-sac. We have
Teenagers that can't walk their dog because of stranger danger, Mark?
I don't know about that, but hey, you know what?
I don't know about teenagers.
Float your boat.
Yeah.
kids 7 and 9 years old. They can't play in the cul-de-sac anymore because of the stranger danger. Every 2 to 4 days, strangers move in. I just want to swing my grandbaby on the back porch, and I have to profile every 2 to 4 days everybody who comes in and out of their 6-pack of beer under their arms, and they're tromping down to my leg. Come on. It's a private lake, okay? That's my life now. I had a dream too. My dream was that I would move to this area and I would actually enjoy being on the lake, enjoy the amenities. I don't mind sharing them with people who are paying for them at all. What I do mind, though, is the fact that I don't know who that is next door. Short-term rental guests screaming at me because they think they have rights. They feel entitled to everything. And I'm sorry, the guest, it's the behavior. By the way, thank you for the last ordinance. I think it's great. I don't think it goes far enough. I think it should go further. What's missing from it is a voice from the people. We've begun to organize as neighbors. We will never, ever, ever go away. Let me make sure our short-term rental owners know this. We're fighting for the safety, security of our families. We will never, ever, ever go away. We're not going to stop. We're not going to just give up. This was my dream to live here. Now I can't. I work all week, holidays, weekends. I can't go down to the lake and enjoy myself without profiling who it is that's next door. What kind of party are they going to have? You know, some of them turn the music up and they scream and yell. When they see you, they do that because they somehow want to be seen and heard. And the reality is they're in a neighborhood. It's a neighborhood. It's not a commercial property. And my right to live in peace in the home that I bought has been completely ripped from me. It's ripped from me. It's ripped from my husband, my kids, my grandkids. It's ripped away. We have rights too as part.
Bro, we could have used this lady to talk about, smoke pollution in your home during the storm and stuff, man. You know what I mean? Like, oh man. I don't know if she's applying for a job at TSA, trying to profile people. I don't know, man. But like, the please give me more boot on my throat government mentality, it's not working for me, brother. And I mean, like, I don't know.
You can tell she's mad.
She's a little upset. I think she has valid concerns, but I think she's going a little overboard on those concerns, painting a picture of fear, right? And that's usually what these politicians react to is fear, right?
Right.
The unknown, the whataboutism, et cetera, et cetera. So this was one of the highlights of the city council meeting. If you didn't make it out there Monday, I encourage everybody to go out to the Bella Vista Community Television. It's only got 17 views. I don't know, shocker. But what I'm saying is this would be a good one to watch to get some perspective from the people that are actually speaking out at city council meetings. I think there's a common thread, and that's really the city crippling short-term rental owners with this overreaching policy. Thou shalt not rent to more than X amount of people based off the size of your septic system, even though the ACC and the city and the county has approved that septic system to be installed. And the rate of septic systems that are failing, there is no data on that. The city has zero data on how many short-term rentals have experienced a septic failure. Therefore, this is, it's knee-jerkish, right? In my opinion, it's overreaching. You're putting people's property at risk that they've invested in to do this for their retirement. I heard a lot of people talk about this was their retirement that they sunk into this. And now the city's basically crapping on their retirement plans. I'm glad that they tabled it.
Yeah, I agree with
that being said, there's another point in this video which I'll scrub to. I believe I might have it right here.
So back before you started that,
Mm-hmm.
because you were sitting next to me during it, and when she turned around and started lifting her arms up and down, kind of insinuating how they were holding their six packs, man, I couldn't keep it together. I was laughing so hard. She was so animated.
Yes,
yeah.
It was. I just like, if you're working all week, how do you have time to profile all these people too? There's a lot of conflicting statements in this argument, and I don't think this argument should be brushed aside. But I don't think that this argument should be used to do legislation. There was another person who was in, I think they were an attorney at one point, or possibly still an attorney. But it was started like trickling down into the realm of pre-crime. Like, this is the United States of America. You are innocent until proven guilty. You should not be profiled by any governing agency, period, right? So these are the slippery slopes that we can lead into when we start talking about fear tactics and whataboutism and projecting the worst case scenario, when the reality is 99% of these VRBOs and short-term rentals are operating within compliance. They do have a governing body. I think at one point the Councilman Fowler even tried to insinuate, well, vacation rentals used to do this, so we're accepting we're just doing what vacation rentals used to do. That's not the position of government. If a private entity wants to open up and manage these, so be it. That's called capitalism, right? But the city should not get in the business of being a direct replacement for vacation rentals. And I think that's where Doug is missing the mark. It's not your job. Right. Your job, Doug, is to listen to the constituents. Your job is to make a well-informed decision when you do start enacting legislation that doesn't target or profile or put any resident at a disadvantage, period. Right. That's public service. You should understand that. You've been doing it long enough. You still ain't getting it right. So that tells me you have something emotionally invested in this, because 5 out of 6 councilmen could say, yeah, even Bork, who had a proposal on the table, said there needs to be more work done. So I applaud Steve Burke for being candid, honest, and humbling himself for a minute and saying, this isn't ready to move forward. We need to go back to work. Right?
I agree.
But even Fowler couldn't humble himself enough to say, yeah, there's some stuff that could probably be tossed out of mine. No, sir. Not today. No, dude. Here we go.
This area, some of it unknown to the residents.
Oh, the history lesson. I missed the mark on this one. Let's see if we can get here. Public commentary.
Really close oversight.
I think he talked for another 20 minutes, man.
But I would just like to say, and I'll be quiet for now, we can move on, to the actual ordinances themselves. But, one last thing. Vacation rentals.
Here it is.
It's really interesting that Dan Lombard, he was on our advertising promotion commission. He's since resigned. He's not on it now, but I have a relationship with him. And I was asking him about vacation rentals, how they operated. But before I did that, it's interesting that the complaints began not long after vacation rentals decided they weren't going to work in that arena any longer. It was just not long after that when the complaints kind of started coming in. And I'll tell you that I know they provided really close oversight. They knew they couldn't afford for the community to get upset. If there was an issue at that property, they were there. They were Johnny on the spot. They sent somebody out like immediately to take care of whatever the problem was. But we talk about regulation. In order for vacation rentals to accept you as one of their customers, prior to acceptance by manager and as a condition for continued acceptance, the premises must, in the judgment of manager, be acceptable as to interior and exterior condition and as to sufficiency of furnishing. So, I mean, they even have their own regulation, and they turn down a lot of homes to be used as vacation rentals. We're asking for proof of insurance. And I hear, well, VRBO, Airbnb, they require that already. Why should we have to do that? It's because we're a city, and in regulation, if you already have it, that's fine. We're not asking you to do anything different. But even in their document, owner will provide owner-landlord liability insurance in the minimum amount of $300,000 bodily injury liability.
Right, that's vacation rentals document, which the city should not be a direct replacement for vacation rentals, period.
Right.
You shouldn't. Right? The amount of overhead that this one individual is trying to create for the city, who has a problem, policing and enforcing noise ordinances as is, based off the amount of complaints that people have stated over the past 6 months at city council meetings where they've called the police and nothing's ever happened. The amount of non-compliant build sites, trashed out build sites, the amount of shoddy workmanship on houses that is creeping up in Bella Vista. You would think that the city has, higher priorities, right?
Yeah, there's no
with
doubt.
the resources that are out there. You would think.
Stay out of that arena, man. There's just no rhyme or reason to get into that arena.
But lo and behold, if my RV is parked at my house after coming back from Amped Electric Games, and I use ample amount of time to clean it and get it ready to take back to storage, etc., right, and unload it, boy, man, the target of opportunity being number one house on the street, they're going to swing by and write me a little citation and say, hey, man, you can't park this here for more than 7 days, right? No shit, Sherlock. That's why I have storage for it. What I'm saying is these are target of opportunities, right? Versus actually you're targeting the resident versus targeting the bad actors.
Right.
And it's another example of, well, we can cite people and we can possibly intimidate people and we can possibly capitalize on this, right? That's what this individual wants to do. He's showing his true colors.
Right.
Can't even humble himself and say, hey, my ordinance isn't 100%. We need to go back to the table, like Steve Burke did, and redo it.
So here's the thing, man. I don't care about their insurance. You know why? Because it goes through Airbnb and VRBO. If they don't have insurance and something happens with one of their guests, it's not the city.
That person is going to be sued, and our city prosecutor can feel free to go and prosecute them all he wants.
It's the owner's property at the end of the day. And the septic tank, they have no business in that. That's not our business. That's the responsibility of the homeowner.
Apparently Doug feels that the shit is his business, okay?
He's clueless.
Maybe he wants to get the stick in there and put it in there, pop the cap, stick it in there, and do a sniff test,
If I have a rental unit and it's failing, it's going to smell to high heaven. Guests that are going to be staying at my place are going to be complaining.
Not to mention the damage it's going to do to your property, right?
It's going to get fixed. Something's going to have to be done. So It's going to regulate itself. We don't need somebody else in there. Hey, you're going to have to pump it every year, every 2 years. It's ridiculous, man. 1,000-gallon, 1,250-gallon, 1,500-gallon tank does not need to be pumped every year.
They act like these are holding tanks on an RV, right? Like there is no leach field, like there is no effluent, there's no lateral lines. They're acting like this is just a straight up holding tank. And then they talk about how they know so much about septic, but they're missing the mark. it's not a freaking holding tank.
Right.
It's not. You're not going to have a scene from RV, where he hooks up the hose and pulls the wrong lever, and you got a freaking geyser of poo flying out the freaking ground, man. It's not going to happen, right? If anything, your ground's going to get soggy, and that's an indicator that there's a problem.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe he's opening a new septic business, a septic pumping business. I don't know. I have no idea.
The thing is, as a city council person, you should be open-minded enough to realize that your poo stinks too, right? And that you're not always right. You're not 100% always right. He goes on about this is the ordinance. It has to be done. Even kind of smack talks his counterparts that voted to table this before the next work session. He basically says, you better, we'll get to that in a minute. But the fact that this individual got so visibly shaken when his counterparts voted to table his resolution tells me that this individual he's made a promise, or he's got some skin in the game on ensuring that this passes. I don't know. I'm reading body language. I'm just calling it like I see it, man. There's something not right with this individual. There's something not right with this individual. I'm going to play it a little bit more, and then we'll see. We've been live for an hour and 6. We got a little bit of time before we move on to the next topic, but I want people to see this.
Yeah.
Ask for it. We talk about...
Let's scrub just a hair. Here you go.
But we're not going to pass a rule that's not good for the county.
They're still talking. They're still history lesson.
Over, and it was company
Oh, here. He talks about vacation rental owner.
for everyone,
Laws.
regardless of the situation. As far as everybody jumping all up and down over vacation rentals, before Dan Lombard took it over and it was company owned, they weren't saints. They weren't saints, okay? The reason for tabling it, now we can work on other parts, but my reason for tabling it is because some of us, I believe, want to run this through pretty quick. If we mess with it tonight, we won't know for sure what it'll look like until next month. If we let it sit, work on it on the 17th, get the septic part right, then maybe we can actually work on it and have something to hang on to instead of everything's up in the air. So, I mean, we can work on the other parts of it tonight, but I feel we need to push it back as far as making a first reading until at least October, and then work on it on the 17th of October, the work session, to get the wording in the ballpark.
Yep. I agree.
Okay.
Get it right.
Anyone else? Okay. We have a couple of housekeeping items that we'll address, and then we'll.
So they're gonna talk
That might
about
not
this
be-
other stuff, and then let's get to the point where they vote it down.
And putting this thing on first reading, which will actually.
Right. So I have a motion on the table to table.
Second.
Mr. Snow, any discussion?
Yeah, I'll start it.
Here's where
On
he
the motion
starts
to table.
talking
Yeah,
smack.
no, I'm opposed to tabling.
I'm opposed to tabling.
It's time to move forward. I said we've been working diligently.
He
for a
doesn't even
year.
have a working copy.
The original ordinance that was proposed.
Move forward with what he's been.
Have had, multiple conversations. We've had a special session. We listened to everybody's input, made several adjustments to it. Then after the last work session, the additional adjustments were made to it. And it's time to have the conversation. I don't know what further conversation can take place on the septic portion of it now. We had the gentleman in from the state health department. He took us through everything.
So Mark, they had the state health department guy. He's the resident expert on septic systems, right? So you would imagine, and I'm probably throwing you under the bus a little bit with this comment because me and you have had dialogue about this, but I want to like clearly explain this to people why. You can't always trust the expert, okay? So the expert that was brought out actually was the expert that was on your site whenever your house was being built. Right. And they drove a 20-ton truck over your lateral lines? Fresh dug, buried lateral lines, right? I would think that an expert, right? An expert would know not to do that, but they cracked your lateral lines and they had to be replaced, correct?
Right.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
So that's the type of crap that we have to deal with, right? You got one guy who's an expert, and you're taking it as the gospel, not even realizing that that person is fallible, is a state employee, which, historically, government and state employees aren't usually the sharpest tool in the shed, right? They're not the brightest crayon in the box. If they were, they'd be working for a multi-billion-dollar engineering company, etc., right? But let's go ahead and take that expert say. We've seen how many government experts have shit the bed. Pardon my French, but I'm fired up about this, right? Because I'm so sick of the government saying, well, we talked to an expert. You talk to one person, right? Yeah, you got an expert. Never mind the experts of the community, right? Happened during the fire. We have a firefighter. I contacted 3 firefighting companies, right, to put out that fire. None of them agreed with what the expert that the state hired was attempting to do, right? So you got experts, we got experts. The reality of it is this is a non-issue with the septic. Yeah. You have no data, none, zero, zilch, to even back that short-term rentals are experiencing higher failure rate of septic systems than long-term rentals or residential septic systems as a whole. You have no data, none. Right. This is a moot point. You're using it as a leverage point to ramrod through this, using it, we have a septic crisis happening and brewing in Bella Vista. Yeah? Do we?
Yeah, I mean, it goes back to, again, there are two, I don't know who mentioned it. I think was it Woes that mentioned it? These are 2 separate issues. These are 2 separate issues.
100% 2 separate issues.
The STRs with the septic issues, 2 different animals, man. It's not even, I don't know why they keep on muddying the waters with that, but again, the septic needs to be put on the side, and that's it. I don't know what they're trying to do. There's already regulation in place, again, from the ADH. It's in there. It's all ordinances. All that stuff's in there. There's no reason to waste your time unless you have a personal benefit.
Yes,
okay?
Exactly. Yep. And I believe he's got a personal benefit. I really do. And we're doing some sniffing. That bloodhound knows. It's out there, man. It's sniffing around with some of this advertising and promotion commission stuff. I guarantee you there's a there. It's only a matter of time until the bloodhound's on it. So just saying. Right. But we're going to roll just a little bit more because I want everybody to see this. This person is really hanging their butt out to dry, showing that they don't really have. He's got a personal interest in this, or he's got somebody else's personal interest involved in this. The rest of the people on the city council voted smart, 100%.
Whether you want to call them concerns or not, I'll leave that up to you personally. I know what I heard, but I don't know what else you can do other than include septic or not include septic. But there's not any other place to go. We've taken it from 2 persons per bedroom to 3, which I will tell you he wasn't comfortable with. Our CDS personnel weren't really comfortable with it. Personally, really not me either, but I was trying to find a place that maybe, we all could live as a council and be comfortable with it. I have read Larry's amendments that he's proposed. I actually think they're good. I don't have a problem with them. I've read Steve's proposal, or Councilman
It's been changed
Bert,
so many times, we don't even know what it is. They haven't made it
there's one piece of it that I would consider putting into the original proposal, and that is about the definition of short-term rentals, type 1 and type 2. I don't have an issue with that. The rest of it,
this is just so emergent to ramrod through.
For the city as a whole.
Here you
go. Not just for the short-term rental owners. I've been informed by those who would inspect a septic system that what we are calling for in this ordinance, being a certified inspection of the system, will basically cost from in the $1,000 range.
Right, because somebody who hasn't historically serviced the septic system, didn't install a septic system, has no information on the use of the septic system.
Yeah.
Are you willing to like hang your butt out there, or is this just a rubber stamp, right? Because if that's the case, then Chris and Mark are opening up a septic inspection business if this passes. And you know what? We have a 100% pass rate. It's only $500 in inspection. We'll undercut everybody, full show, right?
Yeah.
And we will ensure that you can operate that septic system for the next 20 years, as long as you read the fine print and realize that we're not on the hook liable for anything after we certify it. That's all that matters to me, right? I mean, that's all that matters to the city is, rubber stamping crap.
Yeah.
Right.
And Jerry's right. You're going to drop, $375, $400 just to pump it.
Right.
Inspect the lateral lines, whatever. There's issues there. Maybe there's one of them's not functioning properly. They have to run cameras down there, whatever.
I like what Jerry said. This is a scratch and sniff test is all it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
To be properly done, it's going to cost thousands of dollars.
Right. Well,
Every 2 years. Every 2
that's
years, brother.
That's just inspected. Now, if it's failed, that's a whole different
Well, and
ball.
what causes premature failure, Mark? Excessive pumping?
Yeah. If they're old tanks, they'll
Oh,
collapse. Yeah, they could possibly collapse on you.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like, hey, there's a grenade over there. You know it's a grenade, and you just want to stay away from it. But then it's like, hey, let's go play around with it.
Let's go poke a stick at it, man.
Yeah. I mean, it's
See, it didn't blow up. Go hit it with a hammer now, right?
Well,
No.
This is going to be
one of these days it's going to go boom.
Yeah, it's self-inflict. It's going to be self-inflicted.
Yeah.
You're looking for problems when they're not. We don't need them. We have enough things going on.
The average septic systems are not a high failure rate item. I mean, my grandmother lives in her home for over 40 years, man.
Right.
Before her septic just decided to,
Yeah.
And it was old school in-ground metal tank. I mean,
Right.
the majority of these aren't in-ground metal tanks anymore. They haven't been for years.
No.
Right?
No. They'll have concrete and they'll have the poly tanks. But
Right.
Again, we're going to dig into these septics or these tanks and mess around with them and pumping them. So who's accountable there, man? So what happens if you have a major issue? Then is the owner of the property going to go back to the city and sue them because they damaged the tank and everything else that's involved? I mean,
well, on top of it, they want people to be able to go into your home, right? So let me paint even a little bit a different picture, right? Do you want anybody from the city coming into your home?
No, hell no.
They have no business in your home. They've got your architectural design. They understand your home. They see it from the street. They have no business coming into a home, a resident, right? And if that's the case, if it's about the health, and one lady brought it up perfectly, right? If it's about the safety of tenants, right? Well, then why aren't you doing that for rentals as a whole, right? Why aren't you doing it for the residents as a whole, right?
Yeah.
Hey, every year the city has to come in and inspect your living conditions. Why not, man? And then while you're at it, why don't you just put your mouth on the curb out front while CDS has, a gun pointed to the back of your head while they inspect your home? And if you're not in compliance, then I don't know, we'll just see what happens, right? Because that's the role of government, right? Is to come into everybody's homes and inspect and catalog and see everything, right? That's the role, right?
Right.
Because you're providing lodging because the cities still suck on this three-legged stool crap, right?
So
or
I guess
we move beyond the POA and the ACC and we start actually acting like a proper city and actually being innovative and welcoming to small business owners and break those chains of POA, ACC overarching, because it feels like they are actually pulling the strings on this, to me.
Yeah, it could be. Again, two separate issues, Chris. No reason to even take up this issue. I mean, it's a waste of time. There's already legislation out there. No use of.
I think we're beating this horse, man. We're an hour and 19 in. Let's go to a quick break, and we'll regroup, and we'll talk about some of this national news, brother.
All right, sounds good.
All right.
Be back.
ball. Boss up. Come on, boss up. Come on, boss up. Come on, boss up. Never been down on my luck. Boss up. Come on, boss up. Come on, boss up. Come on, boss up. Never been down on my luck. Nah, 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 nah. Nah, 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 nah. Nah, 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 nah. I got what it takes, got what it takes. I don't wanna slice, want the whole cake. Make the money move, that's my forte. Then I'ma take off for the whole day. I'm just weighing all my options. Looking at my watch, hit me back when it's popping. I've been on top, cause my stock never dropping. And this is for the ones that been watching. Boss up. Come on, boss up. Come on, boss up. Come on, boss up. Never been down on my luck. Boss up. Come on, boss up. Come on, boss up. Come on, boss up. Never been down on my luck. To the
And we are back from that short little break. We beat that dead horse, didn't we, bud?
Yeah.
Sorry if we went a little long on that, people. But I mean, I get fired up whenever I see like a government person, any politician, sitting there like tooting their own horn and not actually listening to the resident. There was another point during the city council meeting where Councilman Jerry Snow, had proposed a $1,500 stipend for dispatchers because you know the dispatchers are they're the first point of contact whenever you call, right? And without seeking any public input, they basically nullified it, saying it'll create a morale issue between the road crew and community development services. I don't know. Personally, I'd be like, congratulations, guys. You really earned it. If I was a road crew or a community development service person, right? And because they are like the first point of contact. I mean, that's who's talking to you when you call 911, if you haven't realized it yet, right?
Right. Yeah.
And so I find it hilarious that they're like, well, we can't, this money was already, it's already coming out of the general fund, right? They know that they have money left over at the end of the year. Typically with the general fund. And so, we can't take care of our dispatchers, but you know what we can do?
Get a copper statue?
Well, we get a copper statue, right? But that's honoring the police officer, so we're not going to talk. But what we can do is take 1, 2, 3, 5 motorcycles out to the NWA airport and escort the Alabama team, the furthest city away from Fayetteville, right? I mean, we're on the Missouri state line, bro, right?
Yeah.
And we're going to take all of our not one, not two. We're going to take all of our motorcycles and escort Alabama, Greenbow, Alabama, right? I don't know, man. It's Forrest Gump stuff right there, right? But you know what I'm saying? It's like, so I asked the question, man, are they paying for it? Is the Alabama football team paying for that? Because that just seems kind of like a wasteful use of our taxpayer funded resources. Yeah. The city of Fayetteville, the county of Washington County, maybe, right? could host that because it's going on in their county. It's going on in their city, right?
Yeah.
Why is our police department glorifying college football players? Period.
Yeah, I think we just need, like I said, 2 state police cars, maybe one in the front, one in the back of the bus. Bring them into, Fayetteville, and it's done.
I'd like to see the bill on that overtime and everything else, and see if the city's made whole or not. Really would.
Yeah.
Fuel, wear and tear on these motorcycles, mileage, the whole 9 yards. Yeah, I want to see it.
You'll be waiting a long time. Man.
Or we can just take care of our dispatchers and, actually use our taxpayer-funded resources appropriately and wisely to represent and take care of the people of Bella Vista.
Well, yeah, Wozniak made a good point. I mean, he's like, these are the people that are on the phone, and it's life and death, man.
Yep.
He's
former police chief, man.
If they reallocate resources to the wrong house or the wrong area, you're dead, man. Right. I mean, it's that simple. So
hey, but you know what? Peter brought up potholes. Right?
You can't compare them. You can't.
We're going to just equate a 911 call because you fall in, you can't get up, or you're having a heart attack. To there's a pothole, right?
Right.
We should have titled this one "Potholes and Blowholes," man. We really should have, but I think 3 for 3. So if you haven't heard 3 for 3, we're moving along to some other news. 3 for 3, right? That ends tonight. It's probably over with already, right? But what the Bella Vista, they didn't make quorum. So what the Bella Vista POA board decided to do is let's go ahead and spend another $40,000. Trying to ramrod through this vote too, right?
We don't care how you're going to vote. We're going to do it again.
Right.
We're going to do it again. We're going to push it.
At what point? I don't know, man.
I think it came in at 45%. So they still got. I think it's till October 4th, but it's pretty apparent that I don't believe they're going to make it. Then they're going to issue another revote. It'll be another revote.
Spend another $40,000. Because that money could be used. I don't know. Yeah. Reduce rates on stuff, right? Or just operate, right? But nope, not good. Same songbook, same story, same song, same music that Tom Judson used on the last one. He didn't get the first one; he fired it off another one, right?
Yeah.
This is government not listening. Well, POA is not government, but these are governing bodies not actually listening to the will of the people.
Right. Right.
Tyrant's going to tyrant, man. Tyrant's going to tyrant.
Yeah, and they're going to do that, but they're going to get called out for it. I'm not going to sit back.
Yeah, I'm sick of putting up with their crap, man. It's either you do or you don't. You represent the people. You do, then okay. Over 50% of the community decided this wasn't even important enough to. They probably used it to wipe their butt, man, because of toilet paper shortages. To be quite honest, I don't know. All your propaganda you're sending out, I would say it costs more than $40,000 with all the propaganda that they're putting out on this.
Yeah,
right?
For sure.
But not good enough, right? We didn't want it. Nope. You're gonna get another one, right? Here's another $40,000, right? That being said. 3 for 3 in World War III. Let's move along to the next topic. The Fed.
Yeah, they just came in with another interest rate increase. This brings us, I think today, I think I checked for someone. It was a 30-year fixed mortgage, 6.75%.
It's gone up a couple of percent points, man.
Well, within a year, Chris, we were talking. It was, I think a 30-year was at around 3, maybe a little bit under that at one point. So it's already almost 2.5 times that. But the kicker here is, the whole inflation thing, but nothing's come off. It keeps on escalating. But they want to make another three-quarter point kick in November and December. So you're going to look at it well over 7%. I mean, I don't know what these guys are. They're trying to kill us.
I can't wait till I get another unsolicited mail flyer, how you can save me on my mortgage payment.
Good luck.
Right? I mean, those things come in all the time, man. And I'm like, dude, there is nothing you can do for me. My rate is low, man. Yeah. Even we had to call our mortgage company and say, quit sending this. They were sending them out excessively, man, 2 a week. Right? Wow. I'm like, this is ridiculous, man. You really are asking me to refinance when I have and so we called them.
You're under 3%, right?
Yeah. We're like, you can't even beat my rate. So why are you sending this stuff out so excessively?
Right.
Aren't we trying to save the planet and all that, generating all this paper waste and stuff like that?
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think junk mail, like I could get down with that, right? If junk mail was just basically banned, right? Unsolicited mail was banned. That would do what would that do for our landfills?
I know. It'd be crazy.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely crazy. So, but
the Fed's going to, warns of additional interest rate hikes. Let me go over to Webby share. Boop.
Yeah, that's fine.
The Fed officials united in need for more rate hikes as inflation rages. Of course, Federal Reserve officials are laying the need for the further interest rate hikes in the coming months as they try to wrestle abnormally high inflation
it's a
under
little late
control.
for that.
Yeah, dude. Remember all the morning look, 45, man. He called it. Yeah. I wish the guy was wrong, man. He called it, though. This was October 23rd, 2020. Here we go.
If he's elected, the stock market will crash.
Okay. The markets are set to open after an absolutely brutal week on Wall Street. Stocks now down $7.6 trillion since President Biden took office.
If he's elected, the stock market will crash.
Okay, $7.6 trillion since President Biden took office.
Crash.
Remember to like, share, subscribe to our channel, baby. We're bringing you all this content as you need it. Little laughs in the suck, man. But, he called it, man. He called it. And so now the Fed, I don't know what's going on anymore, man.
Yeah,
I really don't.
So I saw this with, Chris Jones is running for governor. He's a Democrat and running against
Sarah Huckabee. Yeah.
Sarah Huckabee Sanders. And I noticed, I'm like, Gavin Newsom he's destroyed the state of California and he's not done there.
People live in California in droves, man.
Other states like Texas and Florida to come to California. What do you have that they want? I mean, what are you going to give them? There's nothing to give them, man. So he's out there soliciting that stuff and trying to curry favor with these other politicians in other states. I'm like, the guy's a loser, man. He's just a loser.
Yep, up to a loser where he had donated $100,000 to Chris Jones's campaign for Arkansas governor. He pledged $100,000 to Chris Jones. Boy, it's important. It's very important for Democrats to
I tell you what, if Chris Jones wants a chance of winning, he better take that $100,000 and ship it back, because that's it, man.
That's a red flag for me, brother. Isn't that election interference? Other states. I mean, come on, man. Come on.
Man. You know what?
We're going to take a saying from Joe Biden himself. Come on, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a red flag for me. Sorry, Chris Jones. You're probably not my guy.
Where did he get the $100,000? Where did Newsom get the $100,000?
He probably got it from Aunt Nancy, man. some money that was allocated for the Ukraine that she had to fly over and pick up.
He's so whacked out of his mind, that Newsom, man. He's just it's unbelievable.
I don't know, man. I'm sick of liars, right? I'm sick of shiesty people, right? During the height of the pandemic, this guy was people were getting thrown in jail for not wearing a mask.
Yeah, and he's out having
But he was out at French Laundry freaking eating with a bunch of doctors of all people, right? Not wearing a mask, laughing, joking, drinking his wine and stuff, whatever.
Yeah.
So the CIA warned about possible attack on the Nord Stream pipeline weeks ago, a report says. The CIA warned Germany about possible attacks on its gas pipelines in the Baltic Sea several weeks before leaks in Russian pipelines to the country were detected earlier this week. German officials received a tip from the CIA earlier this summer, according to local reports that cited unidentified sources. A German government spokesperson declined to comment on the record. But the revelations come after 2 Russian gas pipelines under the Baltic Sea experienced massive leaks, with some officials pointing to possible sabotage of the infrastructure that is crucial to managing the energy crisis in Russia and the Ukraine amid the war. Right. I don't know. Anytime, I think we also had some of that stuff going on during 9/11 too, right? Like people were like, "Hey man, somebody wants to fly a plane into the." Well, we're gonna ignore that. Just that's a pipe dream. Never happened.
Yeah. So what's the deal here? I mean, it sounds like there's other countries that are gonna get access to natural gas.
I guarantee you, Germany ain't getting access to natural gas.
Well, yeah. I mean, this whole thing is just shady, man.
Well, Russia's blaming the United States. So, I mean, like, I don't know, man. I really don't know what's going on in the world. All I got to say is y'all better be prepared for a long, hard, cold winter.
Yeah.
It's coming.
Yeah. I mean,
energy prices are going to go up.
Well, they already said it.
And you're going to pay for it. You're going to pay for it. We're not paying for it. We shipped. Our government's not paying for it, man. We shipped over. I can't remember the last tally, but I think it's over $80 billion to the Ukraine, man.
Right. Yeah.
Like the numbers are stupid at this point.
It's already happening now. 20% of people with electrical bills aren't paying their bills, man. They can't afford to. Again, it goes back to what I said before. You only have so much money, man, allocated. At the end of the day, man, it's a pie, man. Either you cut it 100 ways or 1,000 ways. Eventually, you're just not going to have enough money, so something's going to have to fall off the table.
Man, these politicians don't seem to be doing too bad.
Yeah, millionaires. If you want to be a millionaire, just be a politician.
Boiling seas after the pipeline was sabotaged, man. Look at this crap. The sea is a boil. I wouldn't call it boiling. I just think that's methane gas bubbling up, but they call it boiling. And, well, with bluster and threats, Putin cast the West as the enemy. So we are now the enemy of larger Russia because Putin went through the annexation process of 4 Ukraine provinces today, of all days. And now there are, a bigger, better, stronger Russia. I don't know. How's that? Where's this money that's going to the Ukrainian government actually going?
I don't know. That's my question. We keep on people are hurting here, and we keep on sending more money overseas. I mean, what's going on with these?
Dude, like if that's the case, man, dude, I got some bills. I got some stuff that I want paid off. Can you just I ain't even asking for a lot of money, man. I'm pretty good with my finances at this point in stage in life. Can I just not pay taxes for a year and just pay off some of my debt? At this point, I mean, you'd be doing me a favor if we just said, oh, you know what? So we print money off and ship to other countries for crap that doesn't involve me.
Yeah, it's pathetic, man.
I mean, we're going to hit a point where we're like, why are we paying taxes?
Right.
If you haven't hit that point, at one point over the past 2.5 years, as an American citizen, a middle-class American citizen that pays taxes and realizes how we live in a quote-unquote constitutional republic, but save our democracy, that doesn't represent crap for me, the American citizen, at this point. Right? What would you say that they're actually starting to be representative of government, right? I believe in helping others, right?
Right.
But you just open the floodgates to let everybody, we're a free-for-all at this point, right? You're passing out PPP loans, right, to people that weren't even eligible to it. No checks and balances on that, but by all means, just keep passing this money out, right? You give money to people to incentivize them to stay home, to damage our economy. You're giving money to countries that aren't even part of NATO, right?
Right.
If they wanted to be, if they wanted, legitimate military help, they should join NATO, right? No, we're not going to do that, right? No, it's just it's coming at a cost of the American taxpayer to fund this crap.
Yeah,
right.
Totally agree, man.
Meanwhile, our kids are getting dumber by the day in the public institutions that we educate them in, right? Everybody else is freaking getting hungrier and skinnier by it. Maybe this is what Biden was talking about, why he's trying to help out with health, right? Oh, yeah, we're just going to starve your ass. You won't be obese anymore, right? You know? I mean, like, get out there. Hey, man, hey, gas costs a lot. You're walking and riding that bike to work, man. Now we're going to cut into your food supply, right? I don't know. I can't make this crap up no more. What I'm saying is I don't believe
Yeah.
these people have your best interest at hand anymore. I really don't believe that.
So. No,
I don't believe it.
I don't believe so either. But hey, great show tonight, Chris. Man, there's some good topics, and I can't wait to get to the city council meeting again, man, because this is gonna.
I can't wait for Monday. We're gonna crush that.
The forum.
That forum.
Yeah.
And then we got an interview with Randy afterwards.
Yeah.
I think day after, right? And we're gonna bring Randy on. And we're gonna talk with him and shit.
Yeah,
we're gonna go live on that one, man.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Till next week, peoples. We love you. Stay happy, healthy, humble. Keep your sanity about you. Be nice to one another. At the end of the day, none of this really matters. What matters is your health and well-being. Everything else is just a social construct, or not. Who knows? At this point, all I gotta say is, just be nice to each other. Treat each other with grace. Till then, see you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Peace out.